One of the greatest gifts the Creator gave us is pain, because it helps us remember that we're in a body that's pretty pitiful. We're not all that. We're not as powerful as Creator. And that pain reminds us that there's something I got to pay attention to. And so it's one of our greatest gifts. It's part of the experience. It helps us calibrate and recalibrate our activities in relation to other beings. So there's a purpose for illness and dis-ease.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, who am I? Who are I? Okay, who is Richard Jenkins? Well, that's my settler name, Richard Jenkins. I was named after my father and his father before him and his father before him. It's quite an English thing. Richard the fourth or fifth or whatever, long line of Richards. I'm from a little place called Moose Mountain, Alberta. Traditionally, the territory is called Moose What'sie, which is Moose Hills. Named after those animals, the biggest four-footed hoofed creature on this continent. And it's for your self-energy, right? The moose. It's like stand there and take on the world and show them your big horns and stand your ground. And that's really what I've learned to do in my life. I was born into a family of women, so a sea of water. I was quite an effeminate boy growing up. I learned how to butch up as I got older, and of course now I look like I look. Every day I walk on this planet looking like I do. It's a constant reminder of I'm part colonizer and I'm part colonized, and not everybody immediately sees the Indigenous. And it's a bit of a mask in today's world that I can, and it comes with privilege, and I don't certainly waste. I don't think I waste it. I don't think I squander it. I've been trained by a socialist family, men and women, to serve community. And that's been my job, that's been my work, that's been my purpose in life, is to serve. And initially, in the first kind of half of my life, I served Indigenous community, all genders, all shades and all ages. And as I've aged, I'm becoming much more focused on two-spirit, genderqueer, indigiqueer, non-binary, anything that has to do with people exploring their sexuality and their gender and being able to see themselves in a world where we've been told there are only two genders, man and woman, Adam and Eve, not yo esquil. And there's so much more color, there's so much more diversity, and there's so much more nuance. I'm not Nahpio fully man, I'm equal, someone in between. Not 100% male, not 100% female. I present as male, but my woman's on the inside. And one of my Muslims told me that one time. Oh, you're the straight gay guy with the woman on the inside. It's like, that makes sense. So that's a bit about who I am. So yeah, 1990 is when I contracted. I was worshiping at an altar. Try to be polite. And the guy warned me, right? He warned me. He says, I just lost a partner to AIDS and I'm HIV positive. I had been with somebody who was HIV positive. I said, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I was not fine. From that first time of becoming positive, I got to a place in my mind quite quickly of there's so much that the doctors and the medical establishment doesn't know about this virus. And I contextualized the virus into a cultural context of shapeshifter, because we have those energies in our cultures. People or beings that are able to shift their presentation into something else. And so recognizing things from a cultural perspective helps me equalize and connect myself to the land and to all my relations. And not just the two-leggeds, right? The four-leggeds and the slithering ones and the crawling ones and the flying ones and the ones that swim in the waters. And so for me, honoring CAAN and the participation of two-spirit, gender-diverse folks in this space has been an amazing journey of acknowledgement, coming out of invisibility. Like, here's a space that people see me, they hear me. My words have value. I'm part of a group of people that want to feel kindness and compassion and love from their fellow human beings. And I get that a lot. But there's also in terms of CAAN and its development, there's a shift in that space. In the last 30 some years, we've created a lot more two-spirit, gender-diverse, indigenous type organizations to fill that space so that we're not just dealing with bloodborne viruses and pathogens and illnesses and infections, but we're looking at a person in their wholeness. And it helps me remember that there are more ways in the world to live than not. I mean, 8+ billion people in the world. We're gonna have some diversity. Like, not everybody's gonna be straight. Not everybody has to be straight. Like, just the ludicrousy of that. Like, even as I say it just sounds silly, right? Oh, is he making a joke? Well, no, but it is kind of a joke. Like, it just gets silly. It just gets silly. And so as a two-spirit guy, some of the stuff that I've experienced with CAAN is, in the beginning, there was a lot of gay men that were kind of really in that space and really kind of reclaiming our power and place in that space. And there's been a shift where, then the dynamics and the journey of the virus started impacting and infecting more women, cisgendered, heterosexual, bisexual women. Some people weren't, some people were. And now it's been the shift. So now we have a cisgendered, heterosexual, Indigenous woman who's the executive director, the chief executive officer. I'm like, yes, it's so amazing. That mothering energy, that nurturing energy, and she is that, right? Margaret is just so amazing, wonderful. But gay men and bisexual men and pansexual men haven't left the organization. We just created other spaces to start unpacking those stories, the whole gender identity and sexual orientation. And we have different genders in Indigenous teachings. And so that's where a lot of that work is starting to emerge. And it's outside of the CAAN space, but I believe it's because of the CAAN space, because we had places, networks, safe spaces to arrive and share our journeys and talk about who we are and not feel shame and guilt and remorse and all of that kind of stuff. That isn't helpful in the long run. We need to feel those, acknowledge them, see them, say hi to them, and then say goodbye to them. Say, okay, you're done. I'm done with you. I don't need shame and guilt in my life anymore. I need to be honoring that I've got this virus. Yes, lots of people have all kinds of different viruses, but it's come here to teach me something about community. It's come here to teach me something about commitment to honoring my body in a way that I didn't get to before. And it's interesting that it's a sexually transmitted illness that's helped me to do that. I'm the eternal optimist. I'm the believer in glass half full. When I wake up in the day, I feel good about my life, regardless of what little shapeshifter energies are in my blood. And I believe anything's possible. Can HIV, AIDS, and hepatitis and all of the bloodborne pathogens be eradicated? Absolutely. But we come here to experience physicality, so that's part of that. So why would we want to? Right? It's not ours to ponder. That's the Creator's, that's the Great Mystery's job. All I gotta do is walk through this earth, maybe for more than 60 years, and help keep it a good space and help make it a better space for the people that come after me. Right or wrong, good or bad, everybody's going to have an experience on the planet. And one of the amazing teachings in Nahel culture we have is the practice and the protocol of non-interference, that we don't interfere in somebody else's journey. We share teachings, we share stories, we gently encourage, but we do not interfere. Like, we're all intersectional beings. And it's this reconnecting and a great return to the center, to our core. And that, you have a different package, different coloring, different hairstyle, and different way that your hair grows. Your cultural references might be different in terms of where you come from on the planet. Your animal connections, your plant, your mineral connections are a little bit different. It's all in your genetics. And there's all kinds of imageries. You go to different nations, they'll show you different imageries now, different frameworks about gender and sexuality. And we're reclaiming those knowledges and busting out of the binary. right? Elders and traditional people are really shifting that mindset to stop privileging dis-ease and reframe, hence communities, alliances, and networks. So stop privileging dis-ease, a discomfort with your place on the planet and your place in the world, and start just relaxing into, it's all good, and we're doing all right, and we're starting to remember to support each other in better ways, kinder ways. And the fact that all my human relations are now on this continent and we're all learning how to get along in the sandbox again, it's a great return to the center of who we are as human beings. When we're able to see ourselves in that space as part of, not separate, not better than, not more than, not bigger than, not more powerful than, that things will get easier. And there's so much depth and beauty and wonder and mystery and magic. It's exciting times to be alive.